Music is older than writing, older than cities, and older than recorded history. Long before humans learned to store sound, music existed only in the moment it was performed, carried by breath, hands, and memory. The evolution of sound recording and music distribution is not just a technical story. It is a story about how humanity tries to preserve emotion, identity, and experience against the erosion of time. The first attempts to capture sound emerged in the late 19th century. Mechanical devices like phonographs translated vibrations into physical marks on wax and shellac. These early recordings were fragile, limited, and imperfect, yet revolutionary. For the first time, music could outlive the performer. Sound became an object, something that could be owned, repeated, and shared across distance. As technology advanced, recording shifted from mechanical to electrical. Vinyl records, magnetic tape, and later cassettes allowed longer recordings, higher fidelity, and mass distribution. Music entered homes, cars, and public spaces. Distribution depended on physical media, supply chains, and centralized control. What people heard was shaped by factories, labels, and broadcast systems. Music became both a cultural force and a commercial product. The digital revolution transformed everything. Compact discs gave way to compressed audio files, and by the early 21st century, streaming replaced ownership. By 2025, music exists everywhere and nowhere at once. Songs are stored in data centers, delivered instantly through algorithms, and consumed through headphones and screens. Distribution is global, frictionless, and personalized. At the same time, the sheer abundance of music changes how it is valued, discovered, and remembered. As we move into the future, recording becomes increasingly immersive. By the 22nd century, music is no longer limited to stereo sound. Spatial audio, adaptive compositions, and responsive environments allow sound to surround and react to the listener. Performances blend physical and virtual presence. Music becomes an experience rather than a track, shaped in real time by mood, location, and context. By the year 2600, artificial intelligence plays a central role in music creation. Algorithms compose, perform, and evolve sound continuously, collaborating with human creativity or replacing it entirely. Music is no longer fixed. It is generated on demand, endlessly unique, and optimized for individual perception. The distinction between composer, performer, and listener begins to dissolve. Further ahead, around 3600, sound recording itself becomes obsolete. Neural interfaces allow music to bypass speakers and ears, transmitted directly to the brain. Melody, rhythm, and emotion are experienced as pure sensation. Music becomes internal, intimate, and perfectly controllable. Distribution no longer relies on networks or devices. It flows through consciousness itself. By the year 5500, music exists beyond form. It is no longer stored, streamed, or transmitted as data. Instead, sound becomes an environmental and informational phenomenon, woven into architecture, ecosystems, and collective intelligence. Music is everywhere, not as background noise, but as a structural element of reality. The evolution of sound recording reveals a profound shift. As technology advances, music moves from objects to systems, from ownership to experience, from external sound to internal perception. Yet its purpose remains unchanged. Across centuries and futures, music continues to connect minds, preserve feeling, and remind humanity of its shared inner rhythm, even as the methods of hearing it differ.